24 minutes to 11, 32 is our number. Going to a top 25 degrees today, they say. Looks beautiful outside. One bloke has just come in from out there is Shane Bowering from Red Tape Busters. How are you going?
It's beautiful out there today, mate.
Beautiful?
Fantastic.
As good as it looks.
It is. Fantastic indeed. Great Mother's Day.
Sensational stuff. Probably a great day for the bike riders to be out and about, mate.
Yeah, well, those bike riders are a bit of a challenge, aren't they? We've just been talking about those bike riders.
We'll come back to that. Now, a nice little win again during the week.
Yeah. This has been a long process. It goes back to mornings about 18 months ago.
Right, when Greg was doing it?
Yeah, when Greg was doing it. And a caller rang in, and what had happened was he's very disenfranchised, I suppose, and very unhappy with the building works that had been done on his property.
Yeah.
And he believed there was lots of defects there. And so he raised it with the BSA at the time. And the BSA weren't really that keen to do anything at that point in time. And funnily, on Greg's show at that time, we had many complaints about the BSA. They were just going ballistic. But anyway, what ended up happening was BSA got a independent report done to say that, yes, they believed through their engineer, the BSA's engineer, that, it was defective, and basically said to the builder, you've got to fix this. The builder said, no, look, you're wrong, and it was going to go to QCAT, and there was a big, long delay in QCAT. In the end, the builder goes bust, as happens at times, obviously.
Time to time, yes.
He goes bust. So then what happens then? The BSA then says, well, look, we might look at it through our insurance.
Well, they have a fund for it.
They do. And I've been sort of sitting behind the listener and firing the bullet. So I've been writing all the correspondence and looking over everything. And also I've been, sending him emails and copying the BSA or the Queensland Building Construction Commission now, QBCC. I've been copying them into my emails to the listener to say, hey, I'm aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Finally, after 18 months, he contacted me this week to say that they've approved $80,000 worth of remedial works. And I said to him, look, does that look like that covers, what you need done? And he said, yep, as long as the specifications that they've got come to fruition, yes, it does. So 18 months, long-winded, many protracted discussions with the BSA, and also it's funny, when it went to QCAT, the BSA said to the listener, you've got to basically defend this. I don't understand why he would have to defend that. The BSA was there.
He's the claimant.
That's what I mean. And they weren't even going to get the original engineer's report and get the original engineer into the proceedings to give evidence. And I said to him, look, this is ridiculous. They've got to get... And in the end, as I said, the builder went bust, so... It's worked out probably pretty well, but a long-winded process.
So now that the BSA is gone, is there a change in the way the procedures work if you want to make claims in that area?
I don't think there's a real change, but what I will say, and look, listeners might now bombard us, but when I was doing with Greg, we would get complaints about the BSA
and I'm familiar
almost
with
every week.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. I have had very few complaints since the change to the
So
new
what have
commission.
they cleaned up, I wonder?
Well, I think they've streamlined some of the legislation, and I think they've streamlined some of the processes a little bit. And as I said, listeners might ring in and say, look, that's completely wrong. But I'm just going on...
If it is, let us know.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going on how many complaints we used to have and the fact that I haven't had many complaints lately. So it seems to be going all right. And as I said, we've got a good result here. He's hopefully going to get his house repaired, and so everything play on. Everything seems to be good.
Okay, 32 is our number. If you have something that you think Shane might be able to help with, feel free to give us a call. That's the number 32. Budget out this week?
Yes, well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? And there's a few issues that I wanted to touch on. I could talk here for hours about this, about my disgust.
You haven't got hours
going on. But one of the things that I did notice was the politicians are going to feel some of the pain because they're going to keep their pay rises. They're not going to increase their pay anymore. So they're going to feel the pain.
Well, and I thought it was a token effort, though.
Well, I'm not feeling any pain. What pain have they got? Everybody else is going to get reductions. We're going to get increase in petrol excise. Pensions are going to...
Which will increase everything.
Absolutely. That's absolutely right. They talk about the carbon tax increasing everything. Well, petrol excise is going to increase everything. So the politicians are feeling the pain by not having their wages increase. please give me a break. They are kidding themselves, those people.
I see through the week too they were saying that, we're feeling the pain with you. We're going to chop the allowances for some form of parliamentarians in relation to their flights to the holiday shack.
Chop them all, mate. Not some of them. Chop them all.
See, Amanda Vanstone had a hand up really quickly saying, I want mine kept.
Oh, absolutely. Well, why wouldn't you? And she was on the commission that just looked into, what we needed to cut. So, look, the end of the story is if you move on from Woolworths or whatever, and you're a senior executive,
yep.
I don't think they then fly you for the next 5, 10, 3, 1 years all over the world.
They don't even give you a packet of Wheaties every week.
That's it. And why are these people, our politicians, bleeding off us and getting free flights and free offices and whatever else they get? Look, pack it in. Get real, you politicians.
The only issue I think that is worthy of talking about in relation to what they should keep is that they've been a PM or they've had some position where security may be an issue.
I don't have a problem with that. Absolutely. That's a little bit different. But the rest of them, nothing. You get nothing.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. We had this discussion at home last night or the night before. It'd be interesting to know what the actual dollar figure is that it costs us to pay the excesses of former politicians.
And wouldn't it be great to see that actually put somewhere on the parliamentary website to say this is how much? They won't release it. And look, I'm sure you could probably get it under right to information, but then you'd need a mathematical calculator and you need a scientist to work it all out.
We'll find them.
Millions.
We'll find them. 1332 the number. David, g'day.
Hey guys.
G'day, David. How are you?
Really well, thanks. I've got a building up at Noosa and I've got a builder that's gone broke and there's a repair to part of the building that I've had a quote on that's about $2,500, and I'm wondering, is there a limit to be able to claim on insurance through the Queensland Building Fund?
Look, my understanding, and look, I'm not a building expert, but my understanding is there's no limit, and I'd certainly be approaching the Building Construction Commission and to see whether they're prepared to man up and get it fixed. But, if it's obviously a building defect and you've been covered by insurance, I don't think that there's any limit, and I think you should be, approaching them absolutely.
And David, even if there was a limit, you'd think it'd have to be more than $2,500 anyway.
Yeah.
I would be approaching them, mate, because if the building work is shoddy, you've paid your insurance through the contract. Well, the building commission should be manning up and paying that and getting it fixed for you. So make sure you approach them. If you have any problems, obviously email me and we'll see whether I can help you.
Okay, great. Thanks for your help.
Good on you, David.
Thanks, David.
Easy, mate. See you. 1332 the number. Hello, Brian.
Yeah, boys, how are you?
Yeah, right.
G'day, Brian. How are you?
Cross.
Fair to Midland.
Cross.
Cross.
I got a Papua New Guinea driver's licence that's expired. I've been up there a long time. Never had a Queensland one since the late 80s. So I went into traffic to renew, get a licence.
Yep.
So they said, okay, you're going to have to sit the learner's test, which I did. Then they issued me a learner's permit for $144.
Yep.
After $20 for the test. So I copped that and I said, right, I'll take my test. And they said, oh, no, you've got to be on learners for 12 months. I said, why? They said, because it comes down to this, cut a long story short, there is no issue date on the expired licence.
Yes. On your Papua New Guinean one?
Yes, there is no issue date. There's an expiry date. They're using the story that because there is no issue date, they cannot use that licence, even though it's expired. I said, well, surely there's someone here with enough now to say whether I can't go and drive with me and tell me whether I can drive or not.
Yep.
Like, I'm 57 years old.
Yep.
Now I'm on L plates for 12 months.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? Look, what I would do in this instance, there's two things. I'd probably go and talk to your local MP, state MP. Now, some of them are good and some of them are hopeless, obviously. I'd talk to them first, but then I'd also probably contact the Minister's office and just outline the situation. Look, and I don't know whether there's any way now, because that's where I used to work, by the way, in transport. I used to be in charge of those customer service centres. That's a long time ago. So I'm not sure now whether there's any way that the manager or the minister or someone in the Director General can override that and basically issue a licence, based on the fact that as long as you pass your test and you had your Papua New Guinean one. So I would probably do that, because I do know sometimes in those customer service centres they do get a bit hell-bent on no. How can we stop this from happening rather than how can we have it happen? So, mate, talk to your local member and then talk to the Minister's office and maybe send the Minister's office an email.
Just one question, Brian. Is the fact that there's no issue date on the licence a mistake, or is that just the way they are up
That's
there?
not how they come.
They don't come with an
They've
issue
been
date.
for 10 years.
And they should know that in transport
So, I mean,
as
they
well.
must be able to, there must be a record in Papua New Guinea of that licence being issued somewhere that they can
but
check.
you
I know.
don't
Yeah, I know
you
what it's
don't
like
check
up
the
there.
record.
Yeah, it's cool, mate.
They did say, if I can get a copy of a stat deck saying I was issued on such and such a date, that's a terrifying thought to even go and try and do that.
Up there.
Yeah, no, that's just mind-boggling.
It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
So, look,
I just got the attitude I got out there was no discussion entered into. No, there's nobody here with any brains.
Yeah.
No. Go away. I couldn't talk to anyone in senior. I just got that. You wonder why people get cross with them and punch them attitude.
yep. And it's that no attitude, isn't it? That,
Yeah.
and some
No
public
attitude,
service have
we're
got
not
it.
interested. So you've been driving 40 years.
Yep.
And now I'm on L plates for 12 months.
Look, mate,
This is
email the
ridiculous.
Minister's office and go directly to the Minister's office, because at the end of the day, if you email them, they have to get back to you and they will ask Transport for an explanation. And it's probably changed a little bit in my day. When you got a contact from the Minister's office about, hey, we want you to respond, you basically started shivering because you were likely, or someone in that department was likely to get the boot up the bum.
Yeah.
And so you got very scared. I don't think it's quite like that these days. But look, still contact the Minister's office and get them to investigate, Brian.
Let us know how you go, mate.
They're a bit hard to scare. I threatened to picket them naked next week, and that didn't frighten them.
Nah, mate,
Frighten most people, I reckon.
that probably doesn't work.
Frighten you.
Scares me. See you later.
And
See
give
you,
me
mate.
a
Let
yell,
us
Brian, if
know
you
how
need a
go.
hand, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Righto. See you, Brian. What's the story, though, if you come into the country with, say, a US licence or a British licence? Can you just swap straight over if you do the test?
You used to be able to, but I'm pretty sure now that because
But
there's
you wouldn't have to
different
go on learners, would you?
No, but there's different driving conditions. So my view, and this would be common sense, and maybe this is a bit too commonsensical.
That doesn't mean it works in the government.
That's what I mean. If you can drive and you go through your test and you can drive and prove that you're safe, especially if you're a mature driver,
Yeah.
why shouldn't you just be given the license and not have to go through that nonsense of a learners and be on a learners for 12 months?
but
That doesn't make sense.
as long as you can pass the test.
That's it.
Written and
That's
driving.
the written and driving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As long as you can prove you're competent. Isn't that what we want?
Yeah.
That you're competent to drive, rather than our rules say that you have to be on a learners you have to get a learners, be on one for 12
Do
months,
your 100 hours
yeah, that's
and
right.
all
No,
that.
nonsense, So again, bit of common sense there, but maybe that doesn't wash.
13 13 32, our number. If you've come in from another country and if you had your licence swapped over, tell us what happened. Love to hear from you. Shane Bowering with us this half hour from Red Tape Busters. Anything that you think he can help with, 13 13 32 the number. It's 11 to 11.
They're back. The continuous call team. Ray, Bozo, Blocker, and
Ray, I've been eating chocolate since I was born.
the Big Man.
This afternoon from midday, the continuous call team as we travel back from Roma will be at Newcastle for Newcastle Penrith. With you between midday and 6 this afternoon, make sure you catch all the rugby league action right here.
The continuous call team. House rules. Tonight, 7:30 on 7, followed by the return of A Place to Call Home.
Wouldn't you love a half-price Seiko or Citizen watch? Or a half-price gold chain, bracelet or diamond ring? Well, Valray Jewellers at George Street is closing down this month. Gold chains and bracelets are 50% off. Diamond rings also 50% off. All watches have been discounted. Seiko and Citizen watches are half price. So get into Valray Jewellers at George Street today, because all items have been massively reduced. Only at Valray Jewellers, top of the mall, George Street.
Do you speak mother? Did you know that the words
The best Mother's Day present will be to see you.
actually mean?
What, am I not even worth a present?
So buy her a selected pure digital radio this Mother's Day. She'll hear her favourite station in digital sound quality, enjoy all the new digital stations, and receive a free Dr. Lewin skincare pack worth $50.
It's the best Mother's Day gift ever.
Which actually means...
No, I mean it. It really is the best.
Oh, right. Conditions apply. Available at Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi and Dick Smith.
Doris Day. So much more than the girl next door.
You always tell me.
Starring Australia's own Melinda Schneider, is returning to Brisbane.
Now I shout
Enjoy a variety of Doris Day's beloved hits such as Sentimental Journey and Que Sera Sera. Be enchanted as Melinda turns the clock back on the life of Doris Day, featuring the Swinging Doris Big Band. QPAC Playhouse, May 21st to 25th. Booked now at QPAC.
Kima Hyundai's demolishing demo prices with i30 active manuals from only $18,990 drive away and iX35 trophy autos from $29,423. Both with only delivery kilometres. Race to Kima Hyundai at Cleveland, Springwood and Mount Gravatt or see kima.com.au.
Wow, when did you buy this?
Last week at City Caravans. It's a brand new Coramor with ensuite. Only $44,990 with all the goodies in it.
Plenty of space inside. The wife love it?
Oh, yeah.
I love the interior. We have to buy it.
Only $44,990? Really?
Yeah, $44,990 on the road.
Oh, hello, City Caravans. I want the Coramor with ensuite for $44,990. City Caravans, where the adventure begins. Exit 30 Pacific Highway, Loganholme.
Reginald?
Sir?
My guests are ready to dine.
Of course, sir. We're serving Terry O'Reilly's famous Brendale beef, sir. Australia's best beef. So tender you can eat it with a spoon.
Delightful. Oh, and tell the staff they can eat. Beans on toast, I expect.
Oh, no, sir. We're having the same as you.
Oh, such extravagance.
Terry O'Reilly's Meats, where quality doesn't cost any more. Brendale 7-Day Shopping Centre, Crimsdale Road, Brendale.
If it's happening in our city, 4BC has it covered.
4BC Brisbane.
This is a child abduction alert from the Queensland Police Service. The Queensland Police Service is seeking urgent public assistance to help locate a 2-year-old child who may be at risk after being taken around 8 p.m. last night from a residence on Sandcroft Street at Willowbank. The girl is described as being Caucasian in appearance with blue eyes and blonde curly hair. 3 males and a female were sighted in a white Holden Commodore and a silver Mitsubishi sedan. No further information still available at this time. If you can provide some information about this incident, please ring 131 564, 131 564. If you have some life-threatening information about this incident, please ring 000. There was a child abduction alert from the Queensland Police Service. If you can help with that, there are the numbers. 13 13 32, our number, 7 to 11 here with Shane Bowering from Red Tape Busters, and you've had a new phenomena occur in your neighbourhood.
Yeah, well, I've had a few complaints. As people know, I'm probably not a fan of the Lycra Mafia. Well, we've got the Balaclava running mafia apparently out our way.
The what?
The Balaclava running mafia.
I mean, they come from Balaclava or they wear balaclavas?
Oh, mate, I've got no idea. I just know that out our way apparently there's... on one of our main streets, there's big footpaths there, but on a Saturday morning there's a group of runners now. There's about 20 or 30 runners, and instead of running on the footpath, they've got their little miners' helmets on with their little lights, all of them. They're running on the side of the road, coming towards the traffic, so you can see them, but they're running on the road. Now, you know, I'm not getting it. We got the Lycra cyclists who want to crowd our roads and take up. Now we're going to have runners who are going to run on the road as well. What is wrong with the big footpath that goes all the way along that road and all the way down to Warner and all the way down to even Strathpine? It's it's concrete. Why are they running on the road?
Well, I mean, you can understand bike riders using the road.
Somewhat I can.
Yeah,
somewhat.
because there are a lot of them, obviously, sometimes, like there were outside here this morning, hundreds of them.
Yes.
But runners, I wouldn't think they'd have a leg to stand on, if you'll excuse the pun.
Well, that's what I mean. What are they doing? Why aren't they on the footpath? I'm not getting it. You know, maybe a runner can tell us why, and maybe because it's flatter or something, or I don't know. I've lost it. I was lost for words when I heard about it, and then I actually saw it yesterday morning.
You did?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many would there be in a pack?
30.
Okay.
At least 30.
Well, so if you're one of the the Balaclava, what do you call them? Balaclava Mafia.
Yeah, Balaclava running mafia.
Give us a call.
Let us know why.
Yeah.
There must be a reason.
Maybe it is because, again, there's 30 of them, and I guess there are lampposts and bushes and plants on the footpath.
But not on the concrete footpath. As I said, they could run single file or two abreast along there without any problems, and they're not going to have many people at 5:15 in the morning of a Saturday morning, dark, freezing
Back in the
cold.
car, yeah.
That's right. Or people running or cycling along that path. That's not going to happen. No. I don't get it.
No, I don't either. Well, at least they're not as bad as there's one bloke around here. I don't know whether you've struck him. He rides one of those lie down bicycles, with the wheel out the front, and he's got a red flag that sticks up. And twice I've nearly cleaned him up because he comes hurtling out of a street over here, and there are cars parked there, and you don't see the red flag coming.
But he's also so low. So if you didn't see the flag,
gone.
Yeah, no danger.
So I just don't know how half these people get in their roads.
Yeah, no. As I said, I've lost for words now that we got the running mafia as well.
Well, because you're a trendsetter and a leader in most things, if it's happening in your part of the world, mate, it'll be happening everywhere.
It's
sure,
probably going to happen everywhere.
Yeah, it will.
Good on you.
I won't mention Manly.
No, we won't mention Manly.
No.
We'll talk about that next week.
Righto.
Bad story.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Take
Good
care.
on you.
Shane Bowering from Red Tape Busters in on a Sunday morning. It's 4 to 11.